64 million Americans work gig jobs, but most have zero benefits. The fight over who counts as an employee could change everything. In 2023, the U.S. Department of Labor proposed a new rule that could reclassify millions of gig workers as employees. The stakes were enormous. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and Instacart collectively employ over 7.5 million drivers and delivery workers in the United States alone. None of them receive health insurance, paid sick leave, or retirement benefits. Instead, these companies classify them as independent contractors, saving an estimated 20 to 30% on labor costs per worker. The result is a $340 billion gig economy built on a legal gray area that has been fought over in courts, ballot initiatives, and legislative chambers for more than a decade. The independent contractor classification dates back to the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. Back then, the distinction was straightforward. An employee works set hours at a fixed location under direct supervision. A contractor sets their own schedule, uses their own tools, and serves multiple clients. Gig companies exploit this framework by arguing their workers choose when and where to work. But the reality is more complicated. Uber controls pricing, assigns rides, and can deactivate drivers for low acceptance rates. DoorDash penalizes dashers who decline too many orders. Instacart sets the pay rate for each batch. In practice, these companies control nearly every aspect of the work except the official employment label. The financial incentive to keep workers classified as contractors is staggering. Employers typically pay 7.65% in Social Security and Medicare taxes for each employee. They provide workers' compensation insurance averaging $1.44 per $100 in payroll. Health insurance premiums average $7,900 per employee per year. Unemployment insurance adds another $420 annually. For a company like Uber with 5.4 million active drivers in the U.S., reclassifying even a fraction as employees would cost billions. A 2020 study by the Economic Policy Institute estimated that misclassification saves companies between 20 and 30% per worker. Across the entire gig economy, that translates to roughly $68 billion in avoided labor costs every single year. California fired the first major shot in 2019 with Assembly Bill 5, which reclassified most gig workers as employees. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, and Postmates spent a combined $200 million on Proposition 22, a ballot measure that exempted them from the law. It passed with 58% of the vote, making it the most expensive ballot initiative in California history. But in 2021, a state judge ruled Proposition 22 unconstitutional. The ruling was appealed. Meanwhile, the Department of Labor finalized its new classification rule in March 2024, using a 6-factor test that considers the economic reality of the working relationship. Over 55,000 public comments were submitted. Uber called the rule catastrophic. Labor unions called it overdue. The legal battle continues in federal courts. For the workers caught in the middle, the consequences are real. A 2023 survey by the Pew Research Center found that 14% of American adults earned money through gig platforms in the past year. Among full-time gig workers, 58% reported difficulty affording health insurance. 42% said they could not take a single paid day off. The average Uber driver earns $15.68 per hour before expenses. After accounting for gas, maintenance, insurance, and self-employment taxes, net earnings drop to roughly $10.87 per hour, below the minimum wage in 30 states. Some drivers work 60 hours per week to make ends meet. Yet polls consistently show that 70% of gig workers prefer the flexibility of independent work, even if it means fewer benefits. If this changed how you think about the people delivering your food and driving your rides, subscribe to Curious Money. We follow the money behind the systems you use every day. Next video, how your car insurance jumped 25% in 1 year.